All right, it's your boy Spank Dog, aka Pufferstein at YouTube. Like, comment, share, subscribe. We're gonna be talking the NBA Finals right now, and let's get into it. So, I know a lot of you guys didn't think it was gonna go 7 games. Um, I was probably one of the few people that believed it could go 7 games. Definitely. I know there were other people out there that know about basketball. You know what it was? A lot of people didn't understand how good Tyrese Halliburton was. Tyrese Halliburton is that dude. Anybody that comes in, if they want to chat, drop a comment. Let me know what you think about SGA, Tyrese Halliburton, Miles Turner, Pascal Siakam, Chet Holmgren, Jalen Williams, all of them. I was just telling people that the reason everybody was saying OKC was going to sweep the Pacers is because they might not know a lot about basketball, and they didn't know that Tyrese Halliburton is that serious a basketball player. You know what it is? SGA won that scoring title. SGA won the MVP. And I'm not going to say that Jokic deserved it more than him because it could have went either way. And to be fair, SGA won the scoring title. He put his team in first place and gave OKC the best season they've ever had with 68 wins. And let me remind you that 68 wins is only 5 wins away from the Stephen Curry Golden State Warriors 73 win team. And Michael Jordan won 72 games. So SGA's 68 game win season is nothing to sneeze at. So everybody thought SGA had it in the bag. But one thing they didn't count on was Pascal Siakam, who was the only person to have a ring out of all of them. And not only that, he don't just got a ring. He was the second option to Kawhi Leonard on that Toronto Raptors team. Fred VanVleet, Marc Gasol, OG Anunoby, they were all good. None of them were like Pascal Siakam. Pascal Siakam is a future Hall of Famer. Maybe. I'm not gonna say certainly, you know what I mean? But to be honest with you, Pascal Siakam and even Miles Turner, they're X factors. These are people. First of all, Pascal Siakam is one of the most underrated players in the NBA. And Miles Turner, forget about it. This is a guy who won the blocking. It's not like the blocking title is a big deal opposed to the scoring title. But Miles Turner led the league in blocks like 2 or 3 times. And he won Defensive Player of the Year, if I got it right. You know what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, let's check. That's what the internet's for. Let me go to Google real quick. How many times has Miles Turner won Defensive Player of the Year? He's never won Defensive Player of the Year. All right, but I know he had to win that block title. How many times has Miles Turner won the block title? If there's even such a thing. Oh, yeah, see, Miles Turner has won the NBA block title twice. But to be honest with you, he's a great 3-point shooter for a big man. He's a hell of a shot blocker, and he's mobile for a big man. He puts the ball on the floor, and Pascal Siakam, let me know, guys, who you think's gonna win. Who you think's gonna win it all, man? You think Oklahoma City's gonna win the 7th game, or you think the Pacers are gonna win the 7th game? You know, I am absolutely clueless. I collect cards, and the crazy thing is even through my collecting cards, I don't have a favorite because I have as many SGAs, Chet Holmgrens, and Jalen Williams as I have Pascal Siakams, Miles Turners, and Tyrese Halliburton's. So from a financial standpoint, it's win-win. And as far as a fan, I'm no bigger fan of Tyrese Halliburton than I am of Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. I like them both. I started collecting the year Jason Tatum came out. So the next year SGA came out, and then Tyrese Halliburton came out 2 years after that. So, you know, if it ain't the Knicks, if it ain't LeBron, if it ain't Luka, if it ain't the Brooklyn Nets, I don't care unless it's about the money, you know. And when it comes to collectibles, like I said, I have as many of the Pacers as I do of the Oklahoma City Thunder. You know, nobody's seen this coming. Let me tell you something. The changing of the guard is here. I don't know if you people noticed, you know, the days of Tim Duncan, Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal, LeBron James, Stephen Curry, Kevin Durant, Kawhi Leonard, that's history. You have just seen the new breed take over. When you seen Giannis Antetokounmpo win that title, that's when it started. You know, and even though LeBron and Steph got one in years recent, that's still, I don't think we're ever gonna see any of the two win another title ever again. So it went from Giannis Antetokounmpo to Jokic, you know, to Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. I'll give Jaylen Brown props, definitely. You know, now it's going to. I never thought it would be Tyrese Halliburton versus SGA at the end of the season. Everybody was expecting Jokic, Giannis Antetokounmpo. Who else is another person you would have thought? Some people would have even thought LeBron or Steph. I wasn't thinking like that. You know what I'm saying? Let me bring up the what is it called again? The bracket. Season leaders. You see, I don't know if that's talking about the playoffs right there. Let's see, full player stats. All right, here go the postseason stat leaders. You know, remember, drop a comment, man. If y'all got anything to say, I'm not critical. I'm not judgmental. You guys could say whatever you want. If you can't stand one of the players or if you love one of the players, go ahead and say it. You know what I mean? Or at the same time, you could just chill too. I'm not one of them dudes that gets mad if you low ride or whatever. Low riding, there's nothing wrong with just chilling. All right, so let me close this out. Why is this here? Oh my God, how do you get this out of here? All right, that's not a good thing. Let's go back to the playoff bracket. All right, yo, look, so let's check. This is cool right here. Let's look at it from the beginning. Let me check the comments real quick. I'm gonna write a comment, see if I could get y'all started. Yo, who do you think is going to win game 7? All right, now let me yeah, the post is there. All right, I mean the comment rather. All right, so yeah, guys, check it out. Look at the teams that were there from the beginning. You got the Grizzlies, the Clippers, the Nuggets, the Timberwolves, the Lakers, the Rockets, the Warriors. I was surprised to see the Rockets make it this year. You know, Jalen Green, Alperen Sengun. I don't know how to pronounce his name. You know, Sengun. I'll say Sengun, and it's Alperen Sengun, Jalen Green. They do have another good player on the Rockets. They got Jabari Smith Jr. You know, so but anyway, look at all these teams that got knocked out, and we're down to OKC and the Pacers. Then on the other side, besides the Pacers knocked out Giannis. Then the Pacers knocked out the Cavaliers, who have an awesome team. You know, the Cavaliers is one of those teams where they have a good player in every slot, because Evan Mobley, Donovan Mitchell, Jarrett Allen, Darius Garland, Isaac Okoro, all of them, they all get busy, you know, and there's somebody on that team that I'm forgetting, you know. So, so, all right. So besides the Pacers, the Cavaliers got knocked out. The Heat got knocked out. The Pacers knocked out Giannis. The Knicks got knocked out. The Pistons got knocked out. The Celtics got knocked out, and the Magic got knocked out. You know, and the Pacers knocked out Giannis. A hell of a team in the Cavaliers because it's so well spread out. It's not like a team of ball hogs. Even though Donovan Mitchell is the number one option, he's very unselfish. You know, the Pacers whooped on the Cavaliers, and then they beat my Knicks up too. You know, it's not a joke when you win 3 series in a row to get to the finals, man. That means you're not playing. You know what I'm saying? That you came to play, that you came to lock in and try to win this ring, you know. And then and you know, look, some of the teams, of course, I'm in New York. You know, it's New York all day, every day. I'm so NYC for real, for real. Like you can hear it in my voice. I've been in New York my whole life. You know what I'm saying? And you know what it is, man. Knicks forever. You know what I'm saying? Even the Brooklyn Nets. Like, it used to be where I would root for the Knicks over LeBron because LeBron's my favorite player. But now I root for the Nets and I root for the Knicks over LeBron. You know, it's New York all the way, all day, every day. You know, it's the Giants, it's the Yankees, it's the Mets, it's the Knicks, it's the Nets. Shit, it's the Jets and the Bills. It's really like that. You get what I'm saying? It's the Rangers, the Islanders. You know, I think there's another New York hockey team that I'm forgetting. But let's examine this first of all. Let's talk about people that you were surprised got knocked out. All right, like really surprised. And let's talk about individuals. All right, because then we could throw people like Paolo Banchero in there. Because you guys don't understand how big a problem Paolo Banchero is going to be as long as he stays healthy. Victor Wembanyama is another one. If he stays healthy, the league is in trouble. LaMelo Ball, if he stays healthy, the league is in trouble. You know? All right, so I want to point out the newer players that we're starting to see take over the playoffs. You used to see Chris Paul, LeBron James, Stephen Curry, who else? Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, Dwight Howard, Dwayne Wade, You get what I'm saying? Rest in peace, Kobe Bryant. You know, Tim Duncan, the Golden State Warriors, Stephen Curry, Draymond Green, Klay Thompson. You know, and what happened is that those days are over, people. It don't matter if you want to hear it or not. Those days are over. You know, it's here. You know, think about it. Look at the teams. Instead of saying the Thunder versus the Grizzlies, for every matchup, we're gonna say the number one option of each team. All right. So it was John Morant versus SGA in the first round. It was Jokic versus Kawhi Leonard in the other game, still the first round. It was LeBron James and Anthony Edwards in the first round, the other matchup. And then the final matchup was Jalen Green and Alperen Sengun versus Stephen Curry and the Warriors. Now, the only people you see that are a little old that are there are LeBron, Steph, and Kawhi. Now, look at who you're talking about. It's not a coincidence that the only old guys that are there are a 4-time ring winner, another 4-time ring winner, and a 2-time ring winner. What a coincidence that everybody that's not young, because I consider Jokic young, you know. So Jokic is young, SGA is young, John Morant is young, Anthony Edwards, also known as Ant-Man, is young. Jalen Green, Alperen Sengun, stupid young. And then you got the old guys. That's Steph, Kawhi, and LeBron. That's it. So you really take a look at that. And Ant-Man knocked LeBron out. The Warriors got by the Rockets, but the Rockets are still growing. Like, they're really in their infancy. So when they faced Ant-Man knocked them out. Now that goes to show you Ant-Man didn't just knock out one old man. He knocked out 2 old men. He knocked out LeBron, the guy with 4 rings, and then knocked out Stephen Curry, the other guy with 4 rings. Almost like a statement, like saying your reign is over, you know. And then he faced SGA, and they couldn't beat SGA, but, you know, they faced the Thunder, rather, because Chet Holmgren and Jalen Williams are really, really good, man. You know, they're sick. You know, that's why they've come this far, you know. But, you know, they met with the young man, Anthony Edwards, instead of LeBron or Stephen Curry. Now, let's analyze the other side, right? Let's see if we find any old men on this side. You see, we don't even see an old man. That's literally 8 teams of young people. Because I don't really count Giannis like Kawhi. You know, Kawhi came out a little earlier than Giannis. You know, I think Kawhi was 2011 and Giannis was 2013. Let's look it up. I don't like not knowing. What year did Giannis Antetokounmpo come up? What year did Giannis come to the NBA? There you go. I had it right. 2013. When was Kawhi Leonard drafted? Let me put drafted. All right. Oh, yep, I was right on both of them. Kawhi was drafted in 2011, and Giannis was drafted in 2013. Let's check their ages. That matters. 33 years old. That's why I said Kawhi is old. How old is Giannis? Yeah, see, Giannis is 3 years younger than him. See, I'll be on my P's and Q's. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, Giannis is 30 years old, while Kawhi Leonard's 33. Those 3 years make a big difference. All right, so like I was saying, if you count Giannis as a young, one of the younger dudes, then the whole East Coast was youngins. There was no old heads in the Eastern Conference. The eight picks, the eight teams that made it. The eight teams that made it was the Cavaliers, which is a whole team of young people. Like I said before, Donovan Mitchell, Jared Allen, Darius Garland, Isaac Okoro, and Darius Garland, Jared Allen, Isaac Okoro, Donovan Mitchell, and Evan Mobley. That was the other one, Evan Mobley. Now on the Heat, it's Tyler Herro, Bam Adebayo. Is there anybody else there? I forget. I think they do have another good player, but Tyler Herro and Bam Adebayo pretty much are the Heat. And Bam Adebayo came out with Jared Allen and Donovan Mitchell. They're all from the same year. 2017, 2018 was the year that Donovan Mitchell, Bam Adebayo, and Jared Allen were selected. All right. So, but you see young people everywhere. Tyler Herro, Bam, Evan Mobley, Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell, Jared Allen. Who was the other one I said? Isaac Okoro. Even though Isaac Okoro needs to step his game up on the points, but he's a defensive. He's supposed to be 3-and-D, but he's not a good shooter, at least not yet. All right, so the Knicks versus the Pistons. All right, there goes another one. Karl-Anthony Towns is like Giannis. I think they're about the same age. They're about 30 years old. So let's check just so I know for sure. I don't want to guess. If we did it for Giannis, who's 30 years old, and Kawhi, who's 33, let's check to see how old who was the guy I was just speaking about? Let's see how old Karl-Anthony Towns is. How old is Karl-Anthony Towns? He's younger than the Big Bodega. I never heard that before. He's a year younger than Giannis. He's 29 years old. Yeah, so the whole Eastern Conference is young. Every single one of the 8 teams that made it didn't have not one old man. And you know what I mean by old man. I would say, 2012, 2011, anything before that, yeah, Kawhi and them, that's getting old. Anything after like Karl-Anthony Towns and Giannis, that's still considered young for me. But by the skin of their teeth, they're about to be in the old section in a second. All right, so Karl-Anthony Towns, Jalen Brunson, Cade Cunningham, these are all young people. Who else is on the Pistons besides Cade Cunningham that's nasty? We got to check this out because I know there's somebody else. But Cade looking like he don't got no help. Yeah, let's see. Big shout out to Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, Jalen Brunson, Karl-Anthony Towns, Josh Hart. That's a whole team of young people. Because OG Anunoby came out with Jared Allen, Donovan Mitchell, and Bam Adebayo. That was 2017. So OG Anunoby's young. Mikal Bridges came out in 2018. That's young. Karl-Anthony Towns just makes the cut. We just spoke about it. He's 29 years old. Jalen Brunson's young. He came out with Mikal Bridges. And Josh Hart also came out with Mikal Bridges. So if you look at it, Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart, and Mikal Bridges all came out in the same year. Mikal Bridges, Jalen Brunson, and Josh Hart were all drafted in 2018. And OG Anunoby was drafted in 2017. You know, Karl Anthony Towns was way further back, like 2014 or something like that, 2013. Yeah, because I don't think him and Giannis came out in the same year. Nah. You know, maybe they did. I don't think so. I think they came out 1 year apart. Yeah, I think Karl Anthony Towns came out 2015 and no, 2014, and then Giannis came out 2013, if I'm correct. You know, but who does Cade Cunningham have for help? Tobias Harris. Ugh, I like Tobias Harris, man, but he could be so much better. That's sad. You know, the Thompson brothers really good though. You know, them Thompson twins are special, bro. You know, like people don't know yet, but they're looking like they can do it all. At first, I thought they were gonna have trouble scoring, but if you've been watching Orsa Thompson and Eamon Thompson lately, they getting it crazy. They getting it cracking. My bad. I have to drink some. My mouth is getting dry. Let me check the comments real quick too. All right, cool. All right, so let me see something. Let's get back to the breaking down of the leagues. So the Pistons, right? All right, so look, Cade Cunningham had a breakout season. If you guys want to make some bread, man, I'm gonna put y'all on, man. Go get some Cade Cunninghams. Go get some Paolo Bancheros. Go get some Alprince engines. You know, get some Franz Wagner's. You know what I'm saying? All these guys that I'm telling you about, not only are they in the top 50 every year, they're also not expensive. You could get Cade Cunningham and Paolo Banchero. First of all, not only are they the number one picks in the drafts from their year, they were the right picks. Because Paolo Banchero, let me tell you something. People don't know about basketball like that sometimes. I'm not saying there's people out there that don't know as much as me. Some people know more. But what I'm saying is that not too many people know that Paolo Banchero is built like LeBron. Paolo Banchero is like 6'9", 6'10". Not only that, he filled out. He's not skinny like Wembanyama, and that's not even a diss to Wemby, because Wemby's solid, you know. But to be like Paolo Banchero at that age and that height, and to be able to dribble and shoot like he does, listen, I predict Paolo Banchero, if he don't get hurt and he could keep up what he's doing, because last season Paolo Banchero went nuts. You know, Paolo Banchero last year finished just outside of the top 10, you know. And what's crazy is Cade Cunningham finished number 7 in the world. You know, Paolo Banchero finished 21st. So to be honest with you, this is just real talk. Cade Cunningham is really that guy. And yo, Cade Cunningham is not expensive right now, man. Go get your Cade Cunninghams. Y'all could thank me later. I can't promise you that his fucking body will hold up. You know, so if he tears his meniscus, that's not on me. What I'm telling you is that if Cade Cunningham doesn't get injured and he can keep the same, you know, conditioning that he has now and not hurt a certain joint, you know, or get into any serious health problems, Cade Cunningham's a star. You know, I'm gonna tell you guys, you know, not everybody's gonna do this for you guys because they want to. People are greedy. Don't think the trading card market ain't serious. People do crazy shit. Like they'll corner the market on, like I'm bugged out like that too. You know what I'm saying? Like if I see that a guy is gonna be a star, let's say he got a card that's serial number to 50, and let's say I could get that card for $3 or $4 or $5 because nobody knows about him yet at all. I'm trying to grab the whole serial number. Like let's say it's limited to 25. Trying to get the whole 25 on the planet, especially if I could get them all for $4 or $5 each. Because that's $5 each. Let's say 25 in the world. That's $125, and I cornered the market on all of them. I'm just trying to explain to you that trading card investors are just as crazy as any investor. You guys are out there doing foolish shit, spending your fucking money on Bitcoin. You know what I'm saying? How many times have you heard about somebody getting destroyed in Bitcoin? You know, meanwhile, you got solid hobbies, solid investments like the Amazing Spider-Man, the Silver Age, the Bronze Age, the ages that counted, you know. Is it the Silver Age? Is it the Gold Era? It's the Gold Era, I think. I think the Bronze Era is when you're coming more to the modern times. But yeah, man, let me tell you something. I would rather buy an Amazing Spider-Man number 23, first appearance of, let's say, the Hobgoblin or Dr. Octopus. Like that's an investment. Those those comics will never go down. You know what I'm saying? Or even like Hank Aaron, Mickey Mantle, Babe Ruth. When you talk about basketball, you could never go wrong with a LeBron rookie card, a Stephen Curry rookie card, a Kobe Bryant rookie card, a Michael Jordan rookie card. You get what I'm saying? Like those are they're solidified. Even cards like Dirk Nowitzki, dudes who just won one ring, or Tim Duncan, who they consider the most boring champion ever, but his cards are still worth mad money. Not to diss Shaq, but they didn't consider Shaq the most exciting champion ever neither, but he's still worth money. Oh, shit. It's all good. Let me check real quick. So, but, Giannis, man, I don't know if he's going to win another ring, man. I think he will. Guys, I think Kawhi could win another ring. Let me tell you something. If Kawhi, Jokic, Giannis Antetokounmpo don't win another ring, then there's gonna be a big gap where nobody could repeat. I'm not talking about Jason Tatum getting another ring or Jokic or did I say Jokic? No, I said Giannis Antetokounmpo, Kawhi Leonard. Was there somebody else? Yeah, I think I did say Jokic. I don't think I think Jokic is gonna get another ring. Let me tell you something. When you look at the stats for the year, even if you looked at the playoff stats, Nikola Jokic seems like he's an alien, like he's not of this planet. Go look at Jokic's stats for the year. It's insane. I can't believe Tyrese Halliburton has pushed this to a game 7 with Miles Turner and Pascal Siakam backing him up. Let me tell you something. That kid Nemhard and Nesmith, even Shepard hit a weird kind of. It wasn't a dagger. It was just a statement 3 at the end of the game. Like who else? Look at TJ McConnell, man. I can't believe TJ McConnell's doing this good. Everybody counts out the short white guy. Let's just be honest, And for me, I don't care about that. There's short black guys that play. There's short people that are other nationalities that play. They could be Spanish. They could have all sorts of nationalities in their blood. But TJ McConnell is just like the whole white men can't jump. He's short to top it off. His hair's flopping all over the place. He got the mommy comb my haircut. And he's killing it though. You know, he's very efficient. He's not greedy. Whenever he steps on that floor, he contributes any way he can. And he does good, man. He killed it today. You know, killed it. You know, Jalen Williams and Chet Holmgren are good, but it can't be where Jalen Williams only contributes when he has a 40-point game. You know what I'm saying? I want to check out what he did in the other games. No, in this game, actually, I want to see. All right, let me see if I get this box score. I got it, guys. All right, guys, let me see something real quick. All right. Let me bring this down. This is the box score for the game. See, yeah, like Jalen Williams, you know, he had decent shooting, but not really because he's 6 for 13 from the field. But he missed 7 shots out of the 13. And not only that, he hit his 2-pointers and missed his 3-pointers. It's 0 from 4. He's 0 of 4 from the 3-point land. That's not doable. You know what I'm saying? Got 3 turnovers, 16 points on 6 of 13 shooting. That's not rocking. You know, Chet Holmgren too. Fuck, what's going on? Like, first of all, let me tell you something. There's no way in the world that Chet Holmgren should be missing 7 of the 9 shots he takes, especially not when you're 7 feet tall. No blocks. You know, Chet Holmgren better step his game up. You know, he's looking really bad right now. I got excited when he scored in the game, but they were off of 2 putbacks. Like, you know, yeah, he's not looking good. He better step his game up. We haven't even seen an appearance out of him. Now I got to check the other games because now I'm like, yo, like, what is this guy doing? You know, how did he look in the other games? Let me check the other games, people. Let's go to game 1. Game 1 box score. See, this is what I'm talking about. 6 points. Luguentz Dortz had 15 points, and Chet Holmgren had 6 points. Something's wrong. Like, I think he feels out of place. I feel like he's not getting enough touches, you know, and it's crazy because he got the same stats in game 1 as he did in game 6. He went 2 for 9 from the field. And to be honest with you, 9 shots, you shouldn't get only 6 points or 4 points off of 9 shots, especially when 3 of them were 3-pointers in the 6th game and only 1 was a 3-point in the first game. But still, can't be missing 7 out of 9 shots every game. I want to check the other game. What was Jalen Williams looking like in that game? Jalen Williams didn't have the best game that game neither. Let's not just get on Chet in that game 1. Because in that game 1, Jalen Williams took 19 shots instead of 9, like Chet. And he only hit 6 shots. So they did pretty much the same thing. 6 for 19, 2 for 9. They're both horrible, you know. And he had 4 turnovers on Jalen Williams. No, my bad. I was looking at something else, the plus minus. Yeah, neither of them had turnovers. The Chet had one. All right, let's go back to the other stats real quick. I'm gonna just check this out real quick, and then I'm gonna sum it up real quick and get out of here. So where's it at? Where's it at? All right. I gotta go back one more. Okay, here we go, people. Let's see what he did in game 2. All right, in game 2, Chet Holmgren, he finally had a little game. 6 of 11, 1 from 3 from 3, 1 of 3 from 3-point land, 6 of 11 from the field goal, 6 rebounds, 1 block shot. This is a better game by far, and this is the game they won this game, actually. Yeah, this was game 2 where they won. 15.6 rebounds, 6 of 11 from the field, six rebounds. Not that, yeah, that's not bad. 2 turnovers. Jalen Williams did the same thing around. He actually did worse. Chet hit 6 shots and he only shot 11 times. Jalen Williams shot 14 times and only connected 5. Yeah, this was he did, to Jalen Williams' credit, he did go to the free throw line way more, and he had 8 points from the free throw line. Let's get to the other game real quick. That was game 3, I believe we looked at. No, this is game 3. Okay, Chet Holmgren had 20 in this game. There you go. That's more like it, brother. 6 of 15 from shooting. That's not the greatest, but he ended up at the free throw line a lot. Jalen Williams did good too. He did way better than Chet, but Chet did show up at least for this one, because you got to remember he had 20 points and 10 rebounds. He had 2 assists, 1 steal, 8 of 9 from the free throw line, and 20 and 10 is good. 20 and 10 is good. Could have done better on the field goal percentage, and he didn't. He missed all his threes, but he managed to put up 20 and 10. There's no way around it. And then while he put up 20 and 10, Jalen Williams had 20 rounds, 3 assists. He had a better game. And then Shea had 24 points. This was a game where Jalen Williams outshined SGA by the slightest. He edged him out by the smallest margin. But Jalen Williams was the best player in the game for OKC. All right, let's go. We're almost done. Let's analyze game 5 or game 4, is it? Let's check. I think it's game 4 we got to analyze. Let me see. Playoff bracket. All right. That's what it is. I keep hitting the wrong thing. Give me 1 second, people. That's what it is. You got to hit right there. All right, we're going to check out game 4. We're up to game 4, box score. All right, we should be right here, people. All right. Chet Holmgren did okay in this game. 14 points. You got to remember, he's the third option. He's not supposed to be scoring 20, 30 points. 20, yeah, not 30, though. He can, but like I said, they're looking for Chet to grab rebounds and block shots on some Dwight Howard shit. Just while they're trying to win this championship. Jalen Williams is definitely the second scorer. Chet Holmgren averaged like 20 points a game during regular season and like 19 points a game, and Jalen Williams averaged 22, 23 points a game regular season. He's the better scorer for now. It's right that he's the second option, and Shea Gilgeous had 35 in this game, but Jalen Williams had 27. And then Chet Holmgren. One thing about Chet Holmgren is he's living as the third option. I think he's better than a third option, and he's still doing it because he only had 14 points, but he had 15 rebounds in this game. Chet Holmgren, this was his best game. He almost hit 50% of his shots. He had 14 points, very efficient, and he had 15 rebounds, 14 and 15. Good shit, Chet, and way to play your role, too. This is why this is going so far, because I'm not going to analyze the Pacers right now like I did the Thunder, because we just analyzed the Thunder's whole 7 games. But to be honest with you, they're all doing their part, but the Pacers aren't easy. They're not a pushover. Everybody thought they were a pushover. So, yeah, in this game, everybody did good, as far as the OKC Thunder. All right, so let's go back to let's go to game 5 and see what they did, and we're almost done. After that, we just need to look at game 6, because I looked at we don't even need to look at game 6 because we looked at that first. That was today's game. We'll still take a glance at it. All right, the box score. The box score for not yesterday's game, it was like 2 days ago, this game. See, yeah, Chet Holmgren had 2 bad games in a row. Even though he had 11 rebounds, and like I said, if he's cold, he don't OD on the shots. You know what I'm saying? And OKC won this game. So Chet Holmgren knew that he was cold, didn't go 4 for 26. He went 4 for 15. He knocked down 1 3-pointer, and he grabbed 11 boards and 3 blocks. That's what I told you. They're caring more about his rebounds and his blocks. 9 points only on 4 of 15 shooting, but he grabbed 11 rebounds and blocked 3 people's shots and had a steal, and they won. Shea Gilgeous had 31, and this was the game that Jalen Williams had 40. So that's the Thunder. That's the breakdown on the Thunder's 6 games so far, how everybody performed. Chet Holmgren, Jalen Williams, and SGA. We locked in on the top 3 and broke down what they did for the 6 games. And we're going to see what happens in game 7. So, look, people, man, real quick. I just want to show you this real quick. Where's it at? Oh, all right, yeah. This is what I wanted to do for you guys real quick. I'm going to stop sharing that real quick. All right, hold on 1 second. I got a little treat for you guys. After this, I'm out of here. But I definitely want to knock this out real quick. All right, people, here we go.
Right now, knowing that they've got a game 7, or they have the killer instinct tonight.
So Mark Daigneault has spent the last couple.
And out, the Thunder are back within 1. The one change they might. Once again, the NBA Finals presented by YouTube TV. Will this be the final game of the NBA season, or will we get a game 7? Right now,
we're going to check out the highlights real quick before I leave. If you see me pause it, I got to pause it because it's a reaction video. If we just watch it from beginning to end, they might catch feelings. So if I pause it, don't get mad. It's my duty so we could watch it.
Knowing that they've got a game 7, or they have the killer instinct tonight.
So Mark Daigneault has spent the last couple of days saying to his guys, you can't be thinking about 7. You can't be thinking we're on the brink of a championship, and don't worry about your family. Indiana's thinking one thing. We want to survive till Sunday. We've got to be thinking, let's focus and execute. That's a good start.
Holmgren, guarded by Siakam.
He stunk it up this game.
Siakam has shown his defensive prowess in these finals, but Holmgren want to move from a 7-footer.
Those are only 4 points he gets for the whole game.
But lately, right on the mark as Williams tries on Neesmith. Tries again, left-handed, and banks it home.
That allows for J-Dub to find that lane.
Oh, spin move.
You know, Jalen Williams came out the same year as Chet Holmgren in 2022-23. They both were worth a lot of money in that rookie year. You know, I just bought a PSA 10 green Jalen Williams and a PSA 10 green Chet Holmgren. I paid $80 a pop, you know, and I'm hoping they shine because SGA makes everybody look like they're second fiddle, you know.
Slam. Jalen Williams again gets to the rim. Rick Carlisle does not like that. Shot clock winding down. Has to hoist up a three-pointer. Long rebound to Siakam. Siakam on the attack, counted, and a foul.
Siakam's underrated.
Back-to-back buckets and a chance for a three-point play. As Halliburton comes up the
Siakam's underrated for sure.
Floor.
Nice
Nembhard,
pass.
Corner 3.
Nembhard was going crazy.
So all of a sudden, Indiana playing off misses, getting to their pace.
And Gilgeous-Alexander loads that left hand.
Gilgeous-Alexander sweep.
And as well, finds Neesmith. Halliburton. Good ball movement. Nembhard sidestep.
There he
Tries
goes.
another
He
three.
was
Knocks
hot.
down another.
You know, I watched this whole game from beginning to end. Nembhard was hot.
Jalen Williams hauls it in.
Whoa, TJ McConnell, that's what I was talking about.
Top and tries, top and hits.
Yo, big shout out to Toppin. He's from my neighborhood. Obi Toppin's from Bushwick, man. Big shout out, big Bushwick shit. Yo, Obi Toppin, Bushwick says you did amazing today.
There is no warm-up to him when he comes off the bench. Toppin, back to the rim. Turner goes high for the rebound. Halliburton's going to try. Finally gets one to go. Tyrese Halliburton from downtown. Pascal Siakam inside the arc. Can't get it. Caruso the rebound. Looks to push. Wiggins walks into a three. Got it. A modern NBA on that.
Andrew Wiggins' brother, Aaron Wiggins.
6 seconds.
There is Shay.
Breaks the defense. Gets into the paint. Sidestep. Banker got it with 1.9 remaining.
You guys got off to a good start, and then they went on a little bit of a run. What did you like about the way you guys closed out that first quarter, though?
Got to stick with it. That's basketball. We did a good job buckling down, keeping them to one shot. They're a good team. They're going to make runs, and so are we.
When you know that their star isn't 100%, how do you exploit that?
First off, he's a good player, and he leads them well. Whether or not he's 100% or not, he's on the floor, so we got to treat him that way, and that's the first part of it. And then the other part is 100%.
Oh,
so,
man.
we got to come down on the other end and play.
Yo, let's take another look at that play real quick. Check out how he crosses him over, right? And then he puts his body against his, and he uses the momentum of the push-off to go into the step-back jumper. Watch.
Leads them well, whether or not he's
Here we go.
100% or not, he's on the floor.
Crossover.
So treat him that way, and that's the first part.
Go to the host.
And then the other part is nobody's
Body
100%,
right
so,
there.
we got to come down on the other end and play
Momentum.
our brand of basketball, not worry about what they got going on.
All right, thank you, Jalen.
All right, Lisa.
Look at
That's
TJ
an interesting
McConnell.
question in terms of what to do is when Powell gets inside and banks it home.
Yeah.
They've done an outstanding
It's
job.
impressive.
They've been
It's always
playing under
impressive
control
when you
with the
see
right
little
amount of
guys.
pace.
SGA at the elbow, loves that spot. Oh, beautiful fake jump shot, got it.
SGA likes to get to that free throw line. You know, it's a lot of the great players do it. Michael Jordan loved the free throw line. Kobe, Chris Paul. You know, he used to go a little closer to the side, Chris Paul.
Williams, a hesitation. Nice fake again. Layup is good. And Rick Carlisle quickly calls timeout. And the Thunder are back within one. The one change they might, he'll play shorter stints. As T.J. McConnell gets into the paint. Kenrich Williams chasing him. Now pull-up jump shot is good.
See what I mean?
Wow. 7 turnovers.
He's another one that he can shoot. You know what it is about T.J. McConnell? Even though he's like only 6'1", 6'2", if that, he's a 3-level scorer. He could shoot the 3, he could shoot the mid-range, and he could finish at the cup.
To 1, and it's the Pacers, the team with 1. McConnell saw Wallace turn his head and knocks down another jumper. TJ tenacity here in the first half. He's already got 8 points for Casey Wallace. Wallace stripped and stolen. McConnell in the front court. Halliburton, step back, 3-pointer. It's good.
Yo, Halliburton's too much, man. He's hurt. He got an awkward jump shot, too. His form is a little broken. But like I said, man, you know, they've hurt players. I remember when Shawn Marion and 1 or 2 other players would shoot from the waist. They didn't bother fixing their jump shot because they used to hit that shit. You know, I don't know if it's good to be fixing people's jump shot. It's a natural, instinctive thing. Maybe sometimes, but it's, you know, it's got to be a case where the guy's jump shot is really broken.
The second 3-pointer of the game, and the lead back up to 6 in the first 5 games. Crazy. McConnell once again.
Here we go.
Across the lane, pull-up jump shot. Does not get the roll. Bradley, rebound, back up and in.
Bradley, it's about time he made an appearance.
Another timeout. Holmgren down the lane. Shot won't go. Hartstein had it. McConnell takes it away.
Here we go. That's Nembhard with the ball.
Nembhard, the drive. Pass inside. Layup.
That was a really nice pass.
The foul. And more free throws with 5:48 remaining in the second.
This guy is ridiculous. He took a rebound and a loop.
There comes Toppin the other way. You rarely see that from Holmgren. Neesmith, the 3. He puts it in.
Yeah, Neesmith got hot, too. He knocks down another one. Coming soon.
Hartenstein, the rebound. Puts it on the floor. Knocked out of his hands by Siakam. And Isaiah Joe gets it. Halliburton the steal.
Here we go. Remember I said he knocks down another one?
Neesmith, corner 3. Bang!
There you go. Told you.
Siakam into the heart of the defense. And Neesmith flips it up.
Oh, I didn't know he scored 8 points that fast. That was crazy. Naismith scored like 8 points in like 40 seconds.
Put in. And a whistle and a foul as well. The lead up to 15. Siakam up top. Nembhard hits some 3s early. Drives. Layup. Got it. With Holmgren right behind him.
Nembhard too. Nesmith and Nembhard.
SGA baseline.
See the body. He loves to do that. Let's get a little rewind.
Baseline.
Look at how he uses the momentum to push off the guy.
With Holmgren right behind him.
Now it's coming. He runs up to him and he pushes off his body into the jump shot.
SGA baseline.
And you're just trying to.
So skilled.
Caruso chasing him.
Halliburton
finds a spot, launches, and hits long 3-pointer from Halliburton.
Tyrese Halliburton, man. 12 points off 3-pointers alone.
A 17-point lead. Holmgren blocked by Turner.
You see that Holmgren, man. Bad decision.
Siakam. Layup is good. We're almost done with the second quarter. Halliburton up top, Neesmith. Halliburton checks the shot clock, drives. There's that floater, left hand. Jalen Williams, 16 points, throws it away. Halliburton comes up with it. Cross court, Siakam for the slam.
Tyrese Halliburton is a hell of a passer.
Siakam falling away, puts it in.
Man, right on cue, man. The shot clock was winding down. He hit it right on time.
At the buzzer.
Can't believe they pushed it to 7.
Guarding him. Halliburton ducks
Nice
under.
pass.
Give and go.
Nice give and go.
Shot's good. Somebody gets on the board. Henrich Williams couldn't get at the ball. Siakam. Then Shepard's
Nembhard. Nice pass.
Turner. Hard. They are dismantled.
That was sweet. That gets a rewind.
At the buzzer.
Here we go. Check it out.
Halliburton. Holmgren guard.
Well, first, let's see that.
Him.
Give and go. Let me get that back.
Give and go. Halliburton. Bang shot's good. Somebody gets on the board. Henrich Williams.
Here we go.
Couldn't get at the ball.
Watch this pass.
Then
there he goes, leading the break.
Checked
Here it comes.
Beautiful pass, Turner. They are dismantling. His jump shot way off.
Nice pass.
Running the floor, layup.
Yo, how many assists did Nembhard have? I'm gonna have to check, guys.
Back-to-back easy buckets.
So they see in the zone here.
McConnell gets inside. Obi Toppin off the bench, knocks another three. That's his third of the game. Williams, the SGA. Gets to his spot, jump shot, carry, and a foul. Hartenstein guarding him. Nembhard launches his three-pointer. It's good. McConnell drives inside. Nembhard thought about it. Shot clock at 4. He's going to have to put one up. Nope. Gets it to Siakam. His three. Got it. To go with his 8 points, 4 assists. Toppin the fake. Toppin the three. McConnell whips it out. Toppin tries again. That is Nembhard. Shepard just gets it off. It's good. It's good at the buzzer.
That's what I was talking about from Shepard. That was the statement. Like, even though they were up 30, that is definitely not no dagger, but it was a statement shot. All right. Yo, Nembhard had 17 points, 4 assists. Those 4 assists, we seen him. Because it's crazy, they showed all 4 assists by him. They were gorgeous passes, you know. And he had 17 points. He was 3 of 5 from the 3-point line, you know. And Nesmith went crazy too, as far as like coming. I think he starts actually, but just like not a first, second, or third option. He went crazy too. Oh, Obi Toppin too had a little game.
The thing is
Obi Toppin, Bushwick.
As McConnell does it again.
Bushwick.
And again, in terms of Halliburton, Game 7 not until Sunday, so that extra day off in between. So McConnell just adding. Wiggins deflected by T.J. McConnell, forcing yet another turnover. Siakam.
Nice pass, Siakam.
They just keep pouring it on.
That was a very nice pass by Siakam. He don't really, that's not his thing, but he's an NBA player. You know, he could pass.
That won't go. Jones on the drive, gets in and banks it home. Murphy to Toppin. Jones staying in front of him. Toppin wants to get a shot off and does. Obi Toppin.
All right, we're gonna stop it there. You know what I'm saying? You know, right now they put in all the guys that they never put in. You know what I'm saying? Because they're blowing them out by 50 in the fourth quarter. You know, but definitely big shout out to Obi Toppin. Bushwick is definitely in the house. You know, I remember when they drafted him. Literally, they drafted him. What are we in, 2025? They drafted him almost to the day 5 years ago, because the draft is coming up. So 5 years ago, they drafted Obi Toppin, right? I watched the draft live while I was writing on Facebook. You could check the Facebook receipts too, you know, and I talk about Obi Toppin and I tell everybody how good he is. You know, and I'm glad that New York got to draft him at the 8th spot, because they drafted him 8th. You know, but then he took a little bit of a, like, the NBA is hard. So even though he was the 8th pick in the draft overall, which means, you know, he was 8th and they picked 60 people, you know, so that's a high pick, you know, and it got to the point where he wasn't playing hardly, you know, and then the next thing after that usually is, you know, you end up not playing at all. You end up in the D League, and then you go find out who you're going to play for overseas, you know. But out of nowhere, Obi Toppin started knocking down 3-pointers. He started dunking. He went to another team. He started playing a great role off the bench. It looks like Obi Toppin's going to have himself a career in the NBA. You know, listen, man, it's your boy Spank Dog. I'm out of here. I thoroughly enjoyed this year of basketball. And I'm so happy that it's coming down to not only a game 7, but a game 7 of two teams where they're led by youngins. You know, the number 1 option is Tyrese Halliburton on the Pacers, and the number 1 option on the Thunder is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He's the first option on the Thunder, and that's a beautiful thing, especially for a dude who collects. You know what I mean? You know, I got both their cards. So, like I said, man, you can still grab Tyrese Halliburton. I don't know if he's gonna win it tomorrow or not, but if you want to take a little gamble and go check out eBay and see if you see one of Tyrese Halliburton's rookie cards. But it's your boy Spank Dog, man. You already know what it is. Big Bushwick shit, big Ridgewood shit, big Bed-Stuy shit. Big shout out to Obi Toppin. May the best team win. I'm out of here. Much love.